What's up? So, back in, I'd say January, my friends and I went to Boston. We go to Boston like twice a year, maybe. A couple times during the summer. Mainly for our highlight of the summer, Fan Expo Boston. Because, I mean, it's a Comic-Con. They're super fun. So, my friend Tegan was really hyped after seeing The Rise of Skywalker, the last Star Wars movie, for the first time. And he wanted to dress up as Kylo Ren. So I thought, oh, well, you know, what are you going to do about the lightsaber? You know, because movie replicas are super expensive. And obviously I was thinking, you're already probably going to have to put a lot of money into the costume. You don't want to spend too much on the lightsaber, especially because a lot of conventions are pretty strict about their weapons policies, especially Fan Expo, because it's in Boston. You know, they had the whole thing with the Boston Marathon 7 years ago. So they're very, very picky about weapons and whatnot. And I'm pretty sure, seeing as, like, I can't even have my Jon Snow Longclaw sword that I have, right? It's made out of foam. I can't even take that out of a sheath if I wanted to make one. Like, I'd have to make a sheath. I can't just carry it around, because that's just how their rules are. So I was thinking, you know, he was thinking of getting a Kylo Ren Black Series Force FX lightsaber, and I thought, well, yeah, that'd be cool. You know, it lights up and it's got the sounds, but, you know, it's got the blades, and they might not like that, because the lightsaber blades are made out of at least a semi-durable plastic that you could hit somebody with. So I thought, well, you know, I did see a tutorial once that involved repainting the, like, $9-10 Kylo Ren lightsaber that came out when The Force Awakens came out. So I have that here. He bought that and gave it to me to repaint, because I was going to take a note from Cosplay Chris's YouTube channel, where he did one of these as a custom collectible video. And I thought, well, you know, that's super easy. I could probably do that. And Tegan wound up changing his mind on his costume, which sucks, but, you know, it is what it is. It happens. So now I just have this lightsaber, and I thought, why let it go to waste? You know, I mean, I didn't pay for it. So today I am going to repaint this to look more like the movie, because the sculpt is there. I mean, it's a children's toy, but the sculpt is there. You know, aside from, like, the little detailing, like the copyrights and whatnot, but other than that, the sculpting detail in the plastic itself is there. So a new paint job could make it look much more accurate to the movie prop. So that's what I'm going to be doing today, and I'm looking forward to it. The only downside is I will have to remove the blades, because there's really no way to get around those without getting paint on them. So it sucks, but, you know, it'll be a cool little decoration slash display piece, I guess. So let's get into it. Okay, so the first step I'm going to take is removing the blades. Now, it's a bit difficult, but from what I gather, they are actually really only held in by springs. You know, they do for the most part go all the way in. The crossguard blades don't, but the top blade does. And all I'm going to need for that is a nice set of pliers. I think these ones will do, but I also have the pliers on this old multi-tool to see if those work as well. All we got to do really is squeeze the blade and hope it pops loose. So I'm going to do that, and I will be right back when that is done. Alright, well, it took a while. We didn't have the right pliers to get the blades out, but after my dad got back from work, he had the pliers, so got them out, and I got the copyright stuff sanded down for the most part, so it's just about ready to paint. I just gotta probably sand it just a teensy bit more, and then probably wipe it down to get any excess dust off. So yeah, then we're on to paint. First we're going to hit it. We're going to hit it with actually a coat of primer first because of the plastic, because the regular paint won't stick, and then after that it's gonna get a nice coat of aluminum paint, and then we'll move on. Alright, I am now in the, well, back corner of my backyard. So we're gonna hit the hilt with some primer, maybe do 2 coats if it's really needed, and then move on to the aluminum, which I'll probably have to wait like 24 hours to do so this can fully cure. But hopefully it doesn't take that long. It's like upper 80s right now, so I know paint dries faster. So hoping that works out.
Now guys, always remember, when you're spray painting pieces like this, you want nice even coats. So hold your can about 8 to 10 inches away and spray lightly until you coat the whole object. And if you do it just right, you won't have any streaks, drops, or anything, and your piece will wind up looking really nice. So let's take a look at that.
Alrighty, that is the first coat on, and I'm gonna let that sit and hit it with a second coat if need be, but it looks like we've got pretty even coverage. You can really see that Hasbro really got the sculpt and all that down. Just needs a new paint job, and that's what we're going for, so we'll get back when it's dry and has a second coat if it needs it. Well, looks like the primer is cured. It's not wet to the touch at all now. So we're gonna hit it with this Rust-Oleum aluminum paint, and hopefully it gives it a nice metal finish before we weather it up and make it black like it looks in the movies. So let's get right into that. And just like before, we want nice, thin, even coats. See, look, it already looks pretty good with that metallic shine on it. So I think this is gonna look pretty good. I'll get back to you when this is done. Alright, so we are at my desk. Now, it's been about a week since I put on the aluminum coat on the lightsaber hilt, so by now, I'd say it's probably fully cured. So, I've got the acrylic paints we're going to be using. The red and blue ones by Apple Barrel, and this metallic gold one by Folk Art. Now, to be completely honest, I'm not sure if these will clash with the paint or not. I'm really hoping that they don't, because, well, that would practically ruin this whole project. So, essentially what I gotta do is paint this long wire that goes from about here all the way down to here. Gotta paint that red, and then right about here, these two are blue, and then this spot here, and then this little spot here are both gold. And then I can get into weathering it and making it black and filling all the details, and well, I think by then it should be pretty good. And obviously we gotta remember to make sure that these show through as the aluminum color. So let's go. Okay, so I took a break after doing the red and blue wires, and looking at it, I clearly made some mistakes. So hopefully I'm able to clean those up, because, well, a bit messy. Either that, or I'm hoping that I can cover them, even, when I get to the weathering and blackening. But I took a break before doing the gold accents, just because I wanted to note these mistakes. I mean, look at that. I think I might have gotten the wrong type of brush. So that's unfortunate, but we're gonna keep tanking on, and we'll get this done. So while I thought that I made mistakes with the red and blue wires, I think I definitely screwed up the gold bits a little bit. I think we'll be able to cover it up and it won't look as bad once we're done, but like, look at that. That is definitely not supposed to, like, I'd rather it be more like this. So I'm gonna have to take a Q-tip or something and stick it in there. Otherwise, I don't hate it. I think it'll look better once it's done, but I think the gold might be a little too bright, to be honest. We'll find out. Okay, so it's probably been well over a week now since I've actually done any work on the Kylo Ren Lightsaber hilt. To be completely honest, I just decided to take a little break from it. I've had other stuff to do, so I've been focusing on that. But today, we're going to be doing the weathering. Now, I have a couple pictures brought up on my computer, so I'm going to take you over here. And this is essentially what we're going for. And to do this, we are going to use primarily just Kiwi Black shoe polish. And we'll get it in, and all the little details and whatnot come out, and then you just, get that on, let it sit for a minute, and then dab the excess off with some tissues or toilet paper or paper towels, whatever you got on you. These areas, I guess technically you could use like a scour sponge, like I might have to get something like that to get the black off of these little bits all around the grip section. And if I'm unlucky, I might have to go back in and redo the gold sections. The one thing that I am probably a bit most intimidated by is trying to get like the burn / scorch marks from the excess heat coming out of the two vents of the crossguard. I mean, it looks pretty simple. It looks like just like a little brownish red into blue, which technically I guess if I wanted I could just dry brush the 3 paints that I've already used for the wires and gold details. So yeah, I think we're gonna get into that, and the black will luckily cover up the mistakes I've made. But there is one thing that I found interesting, is that in The Last Jedi, it was noticed, you can kind of see it in this picture, but the lightsaber, the hilt is almost completely black aside from the wires and detailing. So I don't know if I want to do that, or if I want to stick with this weathered look, which was the original style. I think I'm gonna go with this. So yeah, we'll just hop into another quick time lapse and get that done. Okay, so now I've pretty much done the basic weathering on the whole hilt, and I think it looks pretty good. You see a little more of those like hidden details and whatnot. So at this point, we just gotta try our best to make most of the black details come through, and try to make it as dark as possible. So I'm probably gonna have to use a lot more shoe polish and let it kind of sit and soak in. So I'm gonna do that, I guess, and then I'll come back and show you what's up when we're done. Well guys, the Kylo Ren Lightsaber hilt is finally complete. It took me about a month, honestly, to do this. Mainly because I gave a little more time for the paint to cure, which is definitely ideal. You definitely want to do that with metallic paints. Give it a couple days to set in and cure fully before moving on, no matter what the spray cans say. I did take a break in between here and there, but I finally got it done, and this is our final product. Literally, this is 3 small bottles of acrylic paint and black shoe polish, aside from the aluminum spray paint, which was the base essentially, and the gray primer. So all I did was spray it up, make it completely aluminum, then paint the wires red and blue, do the little gold bits here and on the back. And then I actually did make an attempt. Something that I was nervous about was the scorch marks on the crossguard emitters. I wasn't sure how I was going to do it, but what I did essentially was mix the red acrylic paint that I had with the gold one, and then put a little of the black shoe polish in that to get like a red, orangey, brown color, which is this. And then I mixed the gold and blue for this, and then I just went over it with more shoe polish once it was all dried to kind of grime it up and finish weathering the crossguard emitters, and I think it turned out alright. You know, the whole thing, obviously down here, I probably want to figure something out about this, because I know that there is a little red bit at the bottom of this hilt, and literally like this whole piece was red on the original, which looked awful. you know, I think for now we got it as close as possible to the original movie prop. Obviously, it's not perfect, probably never will be, but I mean, it's a $10 toy that cost maybe $10-15 to repaint. So, you know, it's obviously not going to be perfect. I think someday I probably will add a bit there, and something I want to do off screen in the future that isn't part of this video, mainly because the point of this video was just this, just the repainting. But I'm thinking about putting LEDs in the 3 emitters here, so it's more of a dynamic display piece, so I could, say, hit a button on a controller or something, or however you would turn on the LEDs, and have red lights coming out of the 3 emitters, because I think that would look really cool, and just give it a little more edge, so it's not just, you know, a static piece. And, I mean, I guess I could technically put a speaker down here, but it really doesn't need it. I'm not going to make blades or anything for it because it's a plastic hilt. At the end of the day, this was just about trying to take a cheap plastic toy that had a crappy paint job and make it look as accurate as possible to the screen used prop. And I think we got it as close as we could. So I'm proud of that. But that is pretty much it. So we'll see you around.